It's my pleasure as the chairman of the Arizona Republican Party to have the opportunity to introduce all of our great speakers tonight. And I'm going to get right into the program to make sure that you have the best experience possible. And the mission is to elect who? All right. With that being said, the first person I'd like to introduce, you've heard him, you've seen him on TV. He's one of our southern sheriffs, but he's working hard to represent you here in Congressional District 1, Sheriff Paul Babeu.
Who here in Arizona supports our law enforcement officers? Absolutely, that's great for us to hear. We need that support. And quite frankly, we're not hearing that support from the President, Obama, from Hillary Clinton. We're not hearing it from Eric Holder and the Al Sharptons of our country who would rather portray our heroes, our good men and women in law enforcement, as we see everything through a racial lens, and it couldn't be any further from the truth. With this false narrative of hands up, don't shoot, the men and women who risk their safety, their lives each and every day deserve and need our support. Absolutely. And there's a reason why the 14,000 police officers, deputies, Border Patrol agents right here in the state of Arizona proudly support and endorse Donald Trump as our next president. Absolutely. You know, as a sheriff of Pinal County, our deputies, working with other law enforcement, have led the fight against the Mexican cartels, namely the Sinaloa cartel. You may know we had the largest drug bust in the history of our state, $3 billion. And one day we arrested 76 members of the cartel, and they were carrying 108 weapons. Not just handguns, scoped rifles, AK-47s, and 2 of them we traced back to Fast and Furious. Surprise. In the last 2 years, we've arrested 21 cartel scouts. These are the lookouts for the cartels bringing their drugs into Arizona. And it's not just marijuana, it's methamphetamine, it's cocaine, it's heroin. There's been tens of thousands of illegal immigrants just in the Tucson sector that come in each and every year. And guess what? In law enforcement, we call that a clue. This border is not more secure than ever, folks. Right? This is wide open. Absolutely. Secure our border. Secure our border. Build the wall. There you go. Well, I can tell you, I actually helped do that. Another issue for our state, when you look at Arizona and how large we are, only 18% of Arizona is privately held. The rest of it is state trust land, tribal lands, and federal land. So when we have proposed 1.7 million acres right here in northern Arizona that's being proposed to take our federal land and make it a national monument, we've got to stop that. We've got to fight that. And the reason being, here's why. We love our parks. We love our national monuments. Arizona has more than any other state in the country. But when you make this land, this huge swath of land, a national monument, no longer can our cattlemen have their cattle grazing on this land. It kills cattle jobs. No longer can we mine, which is the backbone of Arizona's economy. It kills mining jobs, and it kills lumber jobs. Folks, we need to be on the side of Donald Trump and on the sides of workers of Arizona instead of Hillary Clinton saying she's going to close coal mines and put coal miners out of work. And you know why that's important? All of us pay for electricity, right? We have 4 coal-fired generating stations in the state of Arizona, and we use this coal to generate electricity. Without it, our electric bills are going to go up 30, could be 50% at a time we can least afford it. 95 million Americans are out of work. Hillary Clinton wants to kill coal jobs and put coal miners out of work. All 4 of these coal-fired generating stations are in this congressional district that I'm running in, and I've got a message. If I'm the congressman, I will support Donald Trump, and I will fight for these coal jobs and fight for coal as an energy source in our state. Absolutely. There's clear differences in all of these races. The Democrat that I'm running against used to be a Republican right here in Yavapai County, and he was fired by you as the voters because he voted for 64% tax increases under Napolitano. This is the wrong direction. And when you have that kind of debt, and you're going to hear from our beloved Governor Jan Brewer, who helped restore our economy in this state. We don't need more tax and spend liberals in Washington who think that by spending more money, that's going to grow our economy. It's just the opposite. We need people that stand up for our Second Amendment freedoms. I will. Like Donald Trump, I've been endorsed by the NRA, and I stood up face to face with President Obama and told him that his executive orders are unlawful. There's a reason why we're not winning a war against ISIS, because we haven't declared war against ISIS. I served our nation 20 years in the Army, from a private to a major. I served a tour in Iraq, and there's a reason why we're fighting ISIS. When President Obama says we're going to win, sends 50 soldiers over to Syria, we're really going to win, sends 250 more. Folks, we either fight them there or we fight them here. And as a lawman, as a citizen of this country, we must defeat ISIS where they are, not here in our country. Donald Trump will rebuild our military. Do you want to strengthen our military? Absolutely. I can tell you, my opponent says he's going to vote for Nancy Pelosi and he supports Hillary Clinton. I support Paul Ryan and Donald Trump. My opponent's for higher taxes and spending more of your hard-earned dollars, and I'm for cutting taxes, reducing the tax rate, and fighting for our jobs, bring jobs back here to the United States. One last thing I want to say, these past 8 years, I don't feel safer. The threats to the United States are far worse. Our military is weakened. Our army is smaller than it was pre-World War II. We need to rebuild our army, rebuild our military. We need to defeat ISIS. Our national debt is now $20 trillion. It's doubled in the last 8 years. So if you want something different, as I do, send people to Washington. I've pledged I will support Donald Trump's agenda to make America great again. As a lawman, as a military veteran, we must keep our state here in Arizona, and we must keep America safe, and that's what we must do. Vote for Donald Trump. Vote for the Republican ticket. Thank you so much.